Welcome to the 9 p.m. BTV News live from Gaborone. I'm Ulibile Samoka Kilebonyi Bitsengoka Twisa's interpreting in sign language. Now let's take a look at stories making headlines. Government to utilize available resources at state TVET institutions to maintain public schools. Botswana to join the rest of the world in raising awareness of breast cancer this October. Bakam Maloka and Constance Kuzwani are champions of the Phoenix Assurance Independence Table Tennis Cup. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Now in our first story, a resolution has been set to utilize available resources and skills from brigades and the Re-Engineer Dipelechim program in partnership with CITF to undertake rehabilitation and maintenance of public school facilities. The Assistant Minister of Education and Skills Development, Mr. Obrile Sasso, emphasized this during his tour of schools in Bobonong recently to appreciate the state of infrastructure and public schools. Karabo Mulusi reports.
Devising vehicles to engage and utilize the brigade's institutions to undertake rehabilitation and maintenance of facilities in public schools is a tried and tested program with reference works in Lobatse and Bobonong. It has proven effective in reducing turnaround time of project execution, providing hands-on training and opportunity for the students to showcase their abilities, creation of employment, reduced financial implications on government, and remedying some challenges in the public education sector.
Cyclic maintenance, complete overhaul. Ceilings are falling in the classroom. The roofs are loose. Happy di bomma mantani re kila ra fumigator a boetse ka gore mantu a makgasa le ta uto go tresetse mo mantu ke motaka so sekolo so bata immediate attention
gore gongwe ka gore dikago le rona ga re no sihela ha go no go ka nna dio tse di tshwanang di caravan di le pedinyana di le tharo hela that could assist us gore re kgone gore re nne le office space re kana rona re 12 stream mme practically re leng 18 stream. So we tell a most of the votes are na disantse di tsengwa go ya ka 12 stream school. Me gape se se leng le tshwenyego for the past 2-3 years. Ke gore di votes tse dingwe ana malatsing a go thelela ga di ntshedwe madi.
The wheels of transformation are gaining speed in motion to positively impact the public education and skills development sector, to nip in the bud the web of challenges affecting teachers, learners and performance in schools.
We are working on that. A plan that will guide education in a proper way. And this is what we need. For our brigades to start developing vehicles of development and making, servicing these facilities to our government. Governmental resources. One, they train students. Botswana building, carpentry, plumbing, train even electrical and mechanical.
Na ibile ke ne ke akanya minister a gore gongwe go nne le thulaganyo hela ya gore tse di makgasa go gaisa tse dingwe tsone di ska tsa emela national education master plan di thaganello hela di ba ka nngwe gore o romele le kokko hela le tabola se sa gore se se makgasa go gaisa tse dingwe ke se he se tsene mo lenaneng se ba ka nngwe sekwele seo ka ponyo ya lito ka gore hey go a tshwenya gore tse dingwe di wa di ceiling meano se sengwe se ka go tshwenya le go gaisa ke di lab.
In efforts to address the issues of promotion and lack of accommodation, the teachers were notified that government is considering performance-based parallel progression and revised housing allowance. Karabo Mulusi, BTV News, Bobonong.
Mindset Change Secretariat Communications Lead Ms. Thato Ntite has urged Botswana to work collaboratively in order for the country to succeed on its quest of transitioning the national economy from a middle to high income economy through utilization of key skills and knowledge. Ms. Ntite said this during the Mindset Change campaign to appeal to Botswana that time has come to be agile and intentional about priority areas that help better their lives. Emmanuel Rapua.
Botswana have always been spot on when it comes to inspiring words of wisdom, which often compels one to outdo themselves and be result-oriented in any given task despite the eminent challenges. Just as with other Botswana, Joanna residents also had an opportunity to get first-hand information on why giving up is not an option and why there is need for mindset change.
The second largest trans-boundary park in Africa lies in the Kalahari district. The second largest camel park in Africa is in the Kalahari district. Mirapalla ke gore re dirise matlotlo a rona re itlhabolle ka one. Ha re ka kera tsama ra gonna mo high income. Motho mongwe a tla re tlhatlosi. Ke rona hela re ka itlhatlosana.
Ha go sena maduo ga gona tswellopele ha gona le maduo tswellopele teng ke dumela gore ke maikarabelo a Motswana mongwe le mongwe gore tautona wa rona e re a boloditse letse majana a tlege ga ke dumele gona le go batlang a mmona a paletswe o ka kgona ka rona Batswana betso a re mo emeng nokeng.
The public is implored to forge ahead with fortitude and invest in viable enterprises that can still prove sustainable even when diamonds are finally depleted.
Le simolla go ikega ka dikitso tsa Batswana lo yana o le Motswana ko lwapeng o dira pharologanyo o kgona go itshetsa yana o sa tole o emetse gore goromente a supe gore o ka itshetsa ja e le wena tsayang boikarabelo le go khothala gore o kgona gore o itshetse ka gore o hetotse mogopolo wa gago wa gore ja no nna ke batla go dilo pharologanyo
ke khanya ya go inyatsa le buitseme le gona o di khantse rona ga dirame ke tsa bo semamang ta utona o rutwetsa Motswana mongwe mo gore mbe a musi wa le hatsele ke a rona rotlhe mongwe le mongwe a nne le seabe a bona gore o godisa itshulele ya le hatshe ka tselentseng jang re se ka ratela ke go ithobego ja gore nna ga ke a rutega nna ga ke na fane a bo semamang ke re Botswana wo kwa rona wothe re le Batswana ntse re eme ka dina ditso le hatshe ntse re le lwele re le berekele re tisa maduo a bonalang.
It is incumbent upon everyone to thoroughly introspect and decide on priority areas that need change in an endeavor to seek optimal results for success. Emmanuel Rapua, BTV News, Jwaneng.
Moremi Game Reserve has experienced an influx of both local and international tourists as compared to previous years these independence holidays. This was said by the park manager at Moremi Game Southgate, Ms. Sitlem Tunzi, in an interview with BTV News. Love Mo Mario Hesmo.
I'm very happy to be here on Botswana Independence Day and to celebrate it by going into the park and seeing so many animals, hippopotamus, Reebok. My daughter is getting married here in Africa.
Our hospitality has been awesome. We've had a fabulous guide. Everybody has been friendly and helpful, and your Botswana people rock. You're really great.
Some of the tourists who thronged the Moremi Game Reserve from as far as Germany, Australia and Japan expressing their excitement towards the excursions and activities within this area. They say they've enjoyed over the past 3 days. Some say the flora and fauna found in this area is out of this world and promise to even come back again and again to experience nature at its most pristine.
Fly from China, Beijing, here and enjoy the half day in Moremi here. And the guide really give a great help to find some interesting animals like a lion, like zebra, the wild beast, something like that. I really have a good time. I love this country, beautiful country. Yeah.
The tour guides operating within this area say it is gratifying to have such an influx of tourists.
bojanale jwa rona ka kwana. Since malatsa boipuso, everybody has been happy, re ntse re tsama up and down, ntse re bona go sena mathata hela, le hatse la rona lo ntse le itumetse la gola, mme ntse ke re bojanala bo gola tseletsatse. We are starting to recover from COVID, so we're still back to the industry, and then we are happy. We are back again.
The holidays na batho ba tsena ra ba le bantsi. Batswana ba tsena thata ka di 30 le di 1. Le ba South Africa ke gona ba samorlang go tsena thata ka bontsi ka tseno ba di 2. A tsene phakela ba ke gona ba hetang gona mme ba tsena ka dipalo tse kodi. Le wa tso go mahatsheng a mangwe le bona ba tsene.
Government has long advocated for more local tourism, and clearly Botswana are heeding to this call, with statistics from the Department of Tourism indicating that the number of Botswana are nature lovers showing interest in exploring the country. Love More Mario, BTV News, Moremi Game Reserve.
Sorowe and surrounding areas have experienced relatively peaceful and quiet independence holidays with regards to crime and fatal road accidents. This was revealed by Sorowe Acting Station Commander Assistant Superintendent Eric Dambe in an interview with BTV News this morning. Monica Setswaila.
At the advent of the long holidays, multitudes thronged Sorowe and surrounding areas for family gatherings and to attend various entertainment activities. This raised fears that the level of crime and lawlessness in the area might possibly increase. However, the police say they did not record any serious criminal offences and track fatalities as members of the public behaved accordingly.
se leng gore tane ha di akatsa batho ba go bala tota mapodisi ya mbane ba eme ka dinao ne re dirile di team tsa di patrol mosego le motshegare mo ditseleng mo re tsamaya re ba di kganedi tsa tsela go bona gore batho ba kgweetsa sente le ba ba tsamaya mo motseng mo ba tsamaya ba thola batho ba bona gore a gona dilalo medipe tse di lalang di thukuta batho mo metseng ka jalo seemo seo se ne sa ira gore borukuti ba gare mo kgaolo ya mebo e ko tase ga ke aka ka nna le tiragalo dipele tselo di hathali thata.
The public were urged to avoid driving while under the influence of alcohol, as that is the main factor leading to road traffic accidents.
Totala so se lo rongwe ne ka bua thata ka sone go gore a ba kgweetsa a ba le se go dirisa nnotagi gape ha motho a ka ra tsamaya uta gore nya mme le tsapakile la goroga go botoka gore o tsoeme o ikhutse pele le wena o uta gore nya ke itekanetse go ka kgweetsa kana dikotsi gantsi di bakwa ke tsone di nnotagi le go kgweetsa o na le tsapa le letona.
Assistant Superintendent Dambe further applauded the residents in his policing area, pleading with them to uphold such good behavior even beyond the holidays. Monica Setswaila, BTV News.
Botswana will join the rest of the world this month in raising awareness on cancer and the benefits of early detection and recognizing cancer survivors. This was said by the Chief Nursing Officer of Gauteng DHMT, Ms. Boinelo Malusi, recently during the official launch of the Breast Cancer Month in Rasesa. Pudulo Mohorosi with more.
October is a Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is set aside to sensitize the public on the disease. Despite being a non-communicable disease, it is continually claiming lives worldwide. Statistics from World Health Organization WHO indicates that over 2.3 million people are diagnosed with breast cancer annually.
Objective to raise public awareness on prevention, early detection and treatment of breast cancer. To empower communities to take lead in the fight against breast cancer. To recognize breast cancer survivors and caregivers for their efforts against breast cancer.
Early detection and knowledge about breast cancer increase one's chance for survival. Therefore, The public is implored to seek necessity information on the disease and also take advantage of available breast cancer awareness programs.
As we gather here, let us recognize the global significance of October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, an annual campaign that goes beyond borders to ensure that every individual understands the importance of early detection, knows the signs and symptoms of breast cancer, and recognizes the significance of regular breast screening.
It is inspiring, very inspiring indeed, to see commitment of the government, of healthcare professionals, civil society organizations, and Botswana leadership in tackling this disease heads on. As we commence Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Botswana, we must remember that awareness is the cornerstone of change. We keep talking about adapting new changes. So let's raise awareness as a form of instilling change in our country.
Living a healthy lifestyle is said to be effective in keeping breast cancer at bay.
Dietitians. Their diet is not varied. Gongwa o ithela go tswa ke gore itshulelo mo lapeng ga ya nna sente mme ga tshwantse gore a ithekele apole wa kantse gore o tshwantse gore a go duela school fees sa ngwana kana a rekela ngwana setlhako boletse jo ba ma bo mmele bo re ntsa tsone dipatiso tsone di supa gore bo ama bo mme thata mme ala ga bo tsene mo lapeng tle borre ruri re kopa ke meno ke nya lona ema meno ke nge ka nna khaitsa diwo e ka nna mme yo tshela lene kana lesika lepela mo meno keng a tseka la hiris kana ba phuaganya.
A breast self-examination could help detect breast cancer earlier when it is easy to treat. The Republic is therefore encouraged to perform a self-examination of their breast regularly. Budulo Mogoros, BTV News, Rasisa.
Police in Pandamatenga are investigating an incident in which a 35-year-old man is alleged to have stabbed and killed a 38-year-old man on Independence Day after a misunderstanding over a cell phone which the accused had sold to the deceased. According to the officer commanding District Number 4, Mr. Khwatlaitsile Odira, this unfortunate incident is a rare occurrence in the Chobe district, as the district is often peaceful during the holidays. The accused will appear before Kasane Magistrate tomorrow.
Ma swabi ke gore le ka letsatsi lone la boipuso mo tshokologo ko motseng wa Phanda ga nna le tiragalo e leng gore re mongwe o na tlhaba o mongwe ka sengwe se se bogale mme re o a latlhegelwa ke botshelo re bua yana a setse a le mo sepatela mo setsidifatsing mme re tsweletse le dithulaganyo tsa gore re bona gore yaanong re mo isa go go ba bongaka ba ba sekasekang go tlhalosa gore mme gone yaanong moswi polao e bakilwe ke nyama dingwaga tsa moswi di 32 mme o e leng ene mmelelwa o dingwaga di 35 botlhe ba ne ba nna go Pandamatenga ke ba le go lebega le ba bereki ko dipolaseng tota go lebega go nile le tlhoka kutlwisisanyo mabapi le mogala o re o dirisang wa cell phone mme le gore o mongwe a re o na rekiseditswe yone cell phone eo yaanong a batla madi a gagwe ka gore phone ko ne e bone teng mo ngane na e tsere.
You're watching BTV News and thank you for staying with us. Now, moving on, the station commander for the Beti Police, Superintendent Meshak Ranku, says the Independence holidays were relatively low on crime compared to previous years, which is an indication of positive behavioral change amongst holiday makers.
As Independence holidays draw to an end, Superintendent Meshak Ranku said crime rate over these days was low as compared to the previous years. He said the majority of cases they recorded involved stray livestock roaming freely on the roads.
The accident di 1 ka di 29 e ne ya Maleruo e latela ina diragala ka di 30 le one ntse ya Maleruo ya di 1 e ne ya ma pedestrian yo ka go tlhoka lesego o na a re tlogela o na a thulwa ke koloi mme a tabogisediwa ga kokelanong ya dibete morago a referelwa ko Mahalape ya ra tsena ko Mahalape ga supagala ga a sa tlhola le mo botshelong ke yone tiragalo ele e maswe diragetseng mme hela all in all ra gatisitse melato ya tsela e le 72 mo go e 72 e ka go kgaologana ga yone 14 mo go yone ne ile ya di-general defects 14 mo go yone ile ya melato e mengwe ya bo overspeeding tota makere overspeeding re nile le 27 ka kakaretso hela nkare gongwe malatsi a boipuso a tsamaile sente mo kgaolong ya rona ga ra gatisa dipe criminal offenses tse le gore gantsinyana ke tsone tse di re tshwenyang gongwe re ka re mindset change e playile a role ya gore batho ba change ba hetoge ba maitsholo a bone.
Motorists were awestruck by the level of cooperation on the roads, say it's something that rarely happens.
Sentera traffic ga e maswe seemo se botokara mo tseleng maabane go nna traffic e ntsi thata gampine botokara sentera na le dikotsi a se kopa le ditsebi mo tseleng mosepolo o siame hela mo tseleng.
Superintendent Ranku also commended road users for their cooperation throughout the holidays, adding that it is something he wishes to see happening going forward for the greater good of Botswana. Go boletse mang boitshwarelo BTV News, Dibiti.
University of Botswana Vice-Chancellor Professor David Norris says the university intends to partner with ordinary citizens who possess meaningful indigenous knowledge, especially in the area of natural sciences. Professor Norris said this recently during the Khanzi District 4 Council meeting. Lisa Homokwaisi compiled this one.
Professor Norris says the time is now for the University of Botswana to take into consideration the issue of indigenous knowledge that Botswana has and start partnering with them to conduct in-depth research and also register intellectual property rights after the completion of research so that no one steals the idea in future.
Re ntse re di dirisa go reka godisa malwetse a tshwane le bo flu bo mama malwetse a mantsi a leng gore before go na le bo baka bo gote western medicine ne re tshela sentle re ithusa ka ditlhatsana tse ya re le ba University of Botswana ra di tlhatlhoba re itlhala gore indeed ditlhare tse bontsi ba tsone they have medicinal properties, they have antiviral properties, antibacterial properties. Mme re itse gore gone mo nageng e tshwana le yone ya gantsi go na le baitsana pe ba tseneletseng ba ba dirisang ditlhatsana tse re ka bereka le lona jang gore ditlhatsana tse di re le batho madi re di dire di tlhotlhomise e nne dipilisi e nne melemo e leng gore re ka ira di-industries mo lehatsheng le la Botswana.
Councillors share the same sentiments with Professor Norris, citing that Khanzi is one of the areas where indigenous knowledge is abundance.
Ke ba ra ke re rona re ne re tshela science re tshela hela mo bosolong ja rona go go se ne se tshwara re se ja re se dira re ikala ene le science hela ke gore ne re sa itse ene sa thotobiswa ene se tseng mo dibukeng ya nong tayang kwa re teng melemo ya rona dijo tsa rona tse tsote tse di jantse ha gona se se tsare se mo se se mole
go research is ka dirwa mo go rona hela research e dirwe le rona ka moso ha o kgonagala re kgone go na di researchera me re santse re tsweletse re bona di researchera di a tsena le hantswa go na le di research dintsi me gone ho ke botsa gore seabe sa university king ba tsweletse jang gore ba ne le karolo mo dikgantshong tsa research tseo
tota hela ditlhare go tewa rona re itse sengwe le sengwe setlhare sa gore ha se dira yana se ka dirwa yang ke hela gore se tsenye mo kitsong ya sisha ke gone mo gore palelang.
The UB head also highlighted that They have some short courses at the university, specially designed for a category of people, and councillors should get in touch with the institution and make use of those courses. Lesego Mokwaisi, BTV News, Khanti.
Khomokwana quarantine camp in Samuchima has been reopened after 15 years. The camp has so far received its first batch of cattle since set to be sent to the Maung abattoir. The quarantine camp has been closed in 2008 following an outbreak of foot and mouth disease in Mohembo West. Reopening this quarantine has been hailed as a good development by farmers who previously had to transport their cattle to Makalamabedi quarantine camp. Tani Tsukudu reports.
Since the Okavango region was struck by foot and mouth disease, farmers in the region have been sending their cattle to Makalamabedi for a mandatory quarantine in transit to Maung abattoir. As Khomokwana quarantine is back up and running, farmers ought to follow a set quarantine schedule for their cattle to be sent to the abattoir.
Manyena hape a tshwantse gore a supe mo sebala magolo sa beitse gore a na le 90 days ntse a tsentse mo kgomong. Kgomo gape tshwantse gore hape e supe gape gore e tsere mekento ya foot and mouth mebedi e hitileng. Additionally gape ga dikgomo re di amogela ha mo quarantine ra di thathoba re thathobela one malwetse a thata re lebile one bolwetse jwa foot and mouth go tswang go a bo re di kenta ba letsatsi la ntlha re di kenta la bolwetse jwa foot and mouth, and then go tswang fo re tsamaya re di inspector every week.
Farmers believe the reopening of Khomokwana quarantine will help reduce expenses they incur in sending their cattle to the quarantine.
Go tswa ha o pega kgomo go tswa go ya ko Makalamabedi ya go tswa Makalamabedi a beta mo Maubie mo se ine le di costela tse di go godimo. Mme go bulwa ga Khomokwana ke temogetse gore tota re le ra benefita thata ka gore nna ke ruetse ga kgaoga ga ke a costega ka gore ke ne ke treka dikgomo tsa me
le bogele ya lo dikgomo tsa madantse ya dingalo ka ya Makalamabedi bonye ga ke to monte wa Khomokwana e bila ka sokola mo botshilong lo tsama di tsamaele sente hela tswa go roga sente ga ke na mathata ke le bua Khomokwana.
Although farmers were ecstatic at the reopening of Khomokwana quarantine, they have highlighted some challenges they encounter during transportation of their cattle to the quarantine.
Jalo ke ne ke kopa gore puso le lephata la veterinary ba re sekasekele gono gore ami a gona ka ba ka dira gore at least go tsengwe gravel go tswa mo gone ha dikgomo di pagamela te ha lo di rempa sa motsimo go ya ko masake go Khomokwana at least di traka di go tsa dikgomo gone kwa go na le dikgomo di gatelo gape go ta ko lo di rempe mo tsele. It's a low distance.
Farmers have been encouraged to also utilize the other two quarantines in Eretsa and Samuchima to avert cattle disease transmissions. Taini Tsukudu, BTV News, Samuchima.
The communal lands in the Matatani Tuli Block region will be farmed for the first time this year in over a decade. This development follows completion of the newly constructed electric fence, which is designed to address the issue of human-wildlife conflict in the area. Since completion of the fence mid last year, the Department of Wildlife has recorded a reduction in the number of elephants roaming the area. Mamusi Siska with more.
As the massive 36-kilometer electric fence stands tall once again, residents in the communal lands are brimming with excitement and assurance that they will be counted among the successful farmers in the next harvesting season. The Tuli block, known for its diverse ecosystems and rich biodiversity, has consistently experienced challenges related to human-wildlife conflicts. With increasing population on both sides of the fence, human-animal interactions have become frequent and occasionally dangerous. Recognizing the pressing necessity for lasting remedy, government, local community and the safaris collaborated to re-erect the fence.
Trateri thuise kaitsedi ya ibile re solela gore mo ngwageng wa hara go lema molwa mari ga rta wora ka le gampi go ga ise di kgaole mme re tsamaya masimo re nna masimo re a baakanya
ka rothe re a utlwa mollo wa tsone ba le bona ba utlwa le rona re utlwa mollo ka kwano re dira jang yaanong tumalano be nna gore ba community le puso bone ba tla supply di-material bora dipolase bone ba duela babereki be nna tumalano be ntse yalo gore manta ba tsa diterata le sengwe le sengwe ba le ba hira batho ba tseyang terata.
This ambitious project to reconstruct the electric fence, originally erected several years ago, seeks to reduce these conflicts by creating a tangible barrier between communities and the free-roaming wildlife.
Ga sa le fela ka 2022 go ra le di case ya di sekanyana la tsa utlhela tsengwe tse di setse ka fo ka mafudiso le masimuka di sa khona go boela ka di santse tsola tse di santse di khona go na di lekeletsa ka re tlo ke se botlhela sa lekeletsa di feletsa gongwe di vandalize me ka perelo pele le re dirile re na re bankanya e patrola bosigo le motsagare gore go bona gore mme ga e sengwe ke ditlou ga ya khanna go ditlou yela go tsena ka diphologolo tse dingwe le bone bogodi ba diphologolo ya thusa mo go bone ka gore ena le motlakase le o leng gore o go godimo e leng gore le motho ka senamana ha e khoma.
The involved parties are confident that they will not encounter human-wildlife conflicts at the new fence. Thanks to the implementation of the maintenance schedule, they are already conducting night patrols to ensure the electric fence functions correctly. An additional personnel will be recruited to join these patrols. Mamusi Siska, BTV News, Matatani.
Pastor Anne Huikotayang of Ninive Daily Apostolic Mission has urged churches to join hands in praying against social ills such as drug abuse, murder and gender-based violence, amongst others. Pastor Huikotayang says he believes that the church can do more to help the nation combat such ills. The pastor said this when speaking during the church's 27th anniversary celebration in Maung over the weekend. John Hesmo.
Ninive Daily Apostolic Mission Church congregants singing songs of praise as the church celebrates its 27th anniversary. The pastor of the church says even though they encountered some challenges along the way, they remained steadfast and focused, knowing the gigantic role played by churches in nation building as well as the great potential they hold in fighting crimes in the country.
Rona jaka baruti jaka ba direla puso are se swelentse are tswelele re dire tiro ya modimo ka tsela re ka e khona go a noa go a gogwa go a ratanwa busutha ngwana le kana ka loud speaker ra ke tshwerie ha tsena go spatele kwa bo bona ile mmehela yo tala ale mo mele ke eletsa gore mongwe le mongwe yo na le ngwana ha emelela ha a shimologa go bona metsamao ya ngwana wa gagwe a moagi gore kuthela a re simolola ka tsone di-rape di-parliamente di-breakings go thubiwa ka mantu go stealing stock di ile makoletsa jaanong mo kerekeng ya lona kana tsa lona e re gantse le le mo servicing ba geso a re nneng le seabe sa go nna re rapella borukutlhi gongwe modimo o tla re reetsa dirukutlhi di kgone go ema.
Churches have been implored to work harmoniously together for them to succeed in addressing challenges facing this country.
Modimo o na re thoma jalo a ba dira dikereke gore nne dikala ka gore go ne go sa ke ga kgonega gore merahele kana e kgobokane ka hata sa gantwe le one gore ba disa ba nne bantsi ba bangwe ba emele hale ba bangwe hale ba bangwe ba hale mme go sa teo gore re harologanye re le so se le sengwe hela le re ba ka modimo o tshwanang mme re santsentse re rotloetsa jalo gore ha re tshwaraganeng.
The Ministers Fraternal has urged churches to attend Khotla meetings in large numbers to hear the challenges faced by the community and come up with workable solutions to them. John, BTV News, Maung.
Botswana encouraged to prepare themselves fully before crossing borders, especially when traveling with minors. These concerns were raised in an interview with immigration officers at Ramatlabama and Pioneer Border Gate. Lone Sokobo reports.
The long independence holidays have afforded some Botswana an opportunity to travel to other countries, including neighboring South Africa. However, some got the shock of their lives when they realized they left some important travel documents behind upon arrival at the border, thereby causing a lot of confusion.
Ha go monate gone gore motho e rana le ngwana ga go ba batla go di holding a be nna ka kare ra musa me kana ra bua mo di radio mo di televisioneng mo di Facebook page tsa rona gore the requirement ke leng bone ne re itemogela batsadi ba eleng gore mo gongwe motsadi o tla ngwana ana le ngwana ba sa tshola be certificate mo gongwe motsadi o mongwe ga itse gore o tshwantse go kopa tetla go tswa mo motsading wa mongwe gore ke ka tsamaya le ngwana mme kana se o mmasirwa through di affidavit go kwala mokwalo o leng gore o ka tswa go mmangwana kana go ra ngwana
mogetse movement o montsi thata gone ka di 30 both in and out le ka di one movement o no le teng but o no wala lesega as compared to what 30 our travelers ba ba tsamayang le bana ba ba under 18 re santse rena le bothata ja gore batsadi ba santse ba ta go hita ka bana ba sena di birth certificate le mekwalo e tswang mo batsading ba bangwe ba batapong ba setse.
In spite of the situation, most of the travelers expressed contentment over the service they received at the border, saying it was quick and efficient.
Gone gompieno ana la ile 5 minutes ga ra mo tsaya mo teng ile ka bona go tota mme batho bone ba teng ga ke itse gore gore gongwe tiro e tsamaya ka bonako ga ke itse nka ba gakolla hela gore ka nako tsotlhe ba nne ba tlhola di-passport motho a se ka e gakologelo ga se tsa tsaya mosepele gore a nne a le ready.
Service ya gone mo bordereng ke siameng hela tota ba ke thuso le ka lorato tota go sena le ha le bothata bope tota ha ona le challenge e nkareng e nnile teng.
Moreover, Botswana were encouraged to be cautious when out shopping and ensure they import only goods whose entry into Botswana is not restricted by the law. Lone Sekobo, BTV News, Ramatlabama.
And that is the news this hour. Do stay with us, and Debo Sebetlela on standby to give you the sport news. Debo, just go straight into the news.
Thank you very much.
All right.
This is Botswana Tonight Sports News. I am Ntabogang Sebetlela. Botswana Softball Association President Katono Mosimane Gape says his association is working around the clock to secure a sponsor for their league. And even though a few companies have shown interest, they can't help as they are still recovering from COVID-19 aftershocks. Mosimane Gape highlighted this in an interview with BTV Sports Desk during the Independence Tournament held over the weekend. Katlaho Kakwele.
Mosimane Gape went on to say lack of sponsorship is a challenge to all sporting codes, and since the business community is still struggling financially due to the aftermath of COVID, then they will have to give them time to recover.
It's hitting hard on us. It's a serious issue, and our players have been wandering around, not having anything to do. That is why we are saying at least the stopgaps should be, let's have tournaments so that we keep them together, and we resuscitate that vibe softball. But I hope this thing would pass and will get back to where we were, really softball and other sporting codes.
The president also thanked companies like Achin Hardware for extending their hand to sponsor sports events like Independence Tournament as they keep players active and help them to make some income in the absence of the league.
To softballers first, our teams, it's a rough time for them because they are not playing regularly like they used to play. They are not playing the league. But we need to appreciate little things that are given out to us by sponsors. Sponsorship to the tune of 200,000 by Achin Hardware Group of companies must be appreciated.
In conclusion, Mosimane Gape encouraged softball fans and followers to appreciate efforts made by companies that sponsor such tournaments while they are still looking to secure potential long-term sponsors. The last time softball had an active league was last year when they had the 2022 Return to Play League in the southern and northern zones. Katlaho Kakwele, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Baka, Maloka and Constance Kuzani are the champions of Phoenix Assurance Independence Table Tennis Final, pocketing 5,000 pula each. Maloka of Moshopa Spinas Table Tennis Club outclassed Mompati Chabe 4-2, while Kuzani of BDF Table Tennis Club snatched the ladies' title after defeating Buizorolo Butalim of Smash Phoenix 4-2. The one-day annual Phoenix Assurance Independence Grand Finale ranks among the BTTA top-tier tournaments and employs a group and knockout format. This year, Botswana Table Tennis Association extended an invitation to the Zambian Table Tennis Association to strengthen relations between the two neighboring table tennis associations. The 2023 Independence Grand Finale was sponsored by Phoenix Assurance Group with a substantial prize pool totaling 26,600,000 pula.
To me, hela exposure e kileng ka nna le one ha ngwa gantso tsama ha ka gakologola ke kile ka ya go Cape Town ka go tshameka the biggest tournament there South Africa. So go ya go hela go nthusitse gore ke te ke khona go kopa dilo dingwe e re ha ke tsana mo gae e be ke khona go tencha na ranna gape le di game tsa di world qualifiers tsa maloba di le harna le mahatse. So le tsone ke di game tse e leng gore di nthusitse go khona go lebella gore okay ha teammate aka ene tshepiso re ba tena nna wina di tournament ba sa di ba mahatsha le ba mo tshameka yang. So ke di khantse le gore ke tsamaile ke di lebella yalo ha re le mo di international games e be ke kopa go ga teng le nna ke ta ke simola ke go traina pele mo training e be ke a go tshameka le ene yalo ke bona gore ha nka change play style go ka nna yang hela yalo le go ta mo gaming o ta o sere a solid plan gore plan A ke a go tshameka yana ha e pala plan B keng.
So se tlhaloganye ka yone le siene re bitselo ba Zambia ba le gore re ba hosi le gore ba teka kwano yano go lekalo gone go ka leka gore re establish a relationship e le gore tebere tsa ba tshameki ba rona bana ba tenda tsa ka go bone le rona ta ka go rona hera yalo e be re ba gape re na le bane ba shutile kgathago ba tsaka go Lesotho. We had only 2 representatives from Lesotho we re na le ba 8 bane ba tsaka go Zambia, but har level to the level of competition is something se leng gore se ne re se batla.
PTTA bringing us to the end of our sports news tonight. Me and you will meet tomorrow. Thank you for staying with us. Now back to Lebile to give you backheads of the bulletin.
All right, thank you, Ntebo. Let's meet again next time because I won't be here tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Before we wrap it up, let's take a look at stories that we're making headlines. Government to utilize available resources at state TVET institutions to maintain public schools. Botswana to join the rest of the world in raising awareness of breast cancer this October. Baka Maloka and Constance Kuzwani are champions of the Phoenix Assurance Independence Table Tennis Cup. And that is the weather this hour, that is the news this hour. Weather coming up next.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather forecast. My name is Paul Victoria Hosian. Let's start off by looking at tonight's satellite overview. It's showing some fine conditions over much of the country with some partly cloudy conditions over the northern parts as well as Khanti and Kalahari. But for tomorrow, we're expecting some partly cloudy conditions over much of Botswana. And in the morning, some mild temperatures over southern, southeast, Gauteng, southern, central and northeast of around 13 over Silibe Pico and Platjan, 14 over Gaborone, Jwaneng and Lepepe, 15 over Letlhakane. For the bulk of Botswana, mostly some warm temperatures of around 17 over Veda and Khanti, 19 over Gumare and Shakawe. But for Kasane, some hot temperature of around 20 degrees Celsius. As the day continues, we're expecting some very hot temperatures over Ngamiland and Chobe of around 36 over Kasane and Shakawe, 37 over Maung. But for the bulk of the country, mostly some hot temperatures of around 33 over Jwaneng, Gaborone, Francistown, Letlhakane, 34 over Khanti and 35 over much of Kalahari. Looking at the active wildfires, as indicated by the red color, is showing active wildfires are burning in some parts of Botswana. The fire danger index, which shows probability of fire outbreaks getting out of hand, is showing very dangerous to extremely dangerous conditions over much of the country. Therefore, the public is advised to handle fire with caution. For SADC cities, we're expecting some partly cloudy conditions over Appleton, Cape Town and Port Elizabeth with highs of 39 over Appleton. But for Johannesburg, Maseru and Manzini, some fine conditions are expected. For Lusaka and Harare, some fine conditions with highs of 32 over Lusaka. Partly cloudy conditions over Beira and Antananarivo, as well as Windhoek with highs of 33 over Windhoek. For Blantyre, some fine conditions and partly cloudy conditions with possibilities of rain over Dar es Salaam with highs of 32. And partly cloudy conditions over Luanda and Kinshasa, but with highs of 32 over Kinshasa with probability of isolated thunder showers. That's all I had for you tonight. Have yourself a wonderful night.
Now, Miss World Botswana has forged a 3-year strategic partnership with Miss World South Africa. The two intend to foster collaborations, address shared challenges, and explore opportunities for the betterment of both countries. Earlier, Lucia Ramasu spoke to the director of Miss Botswana, Mr. Benjamin Raletsatsi, about this collaboration.